According to Anthony, it's about 1%. What it means is if you have X amount of glyphosate in your food, daily you're having, on the first day, whatever amount of glyphosate was in the food that you ate, only 1% of it actually gets absorbed by the body, 99% gets rejected. But don't think that is a very safe thing, that 1% is negligible. No, it's not. In one day, you have only 1% of it picked up. But if you're having that kind of food every day, then in 100 days, say a little over 3 months, you have 100% rate of whatever was in the food, on average. And if you continue to eat that kind of food every day, then in 1,000 days, let's say 3 years, you have accumulated 1,000%, 10 times more than the amount of glyphosate that was there on daily in your food, 10 times more in your body. And so it goes on and on and on. Given enough time, you'll have enormous amount of accumulation of glyphosate in your body. This is the first thing that one must understand. Second, glyphosate and AMPA. AMPA is a first stage metabolite. That means glyphosate degenerates into AMPA, which is also very toxic. Now, what happens in the body? According to Anthony Samsel, the part of glyphosate that get embedded, that get misincorporated into our proteins, they remain as glyphosate and they keep the proteins as rogue proteins, non-functional proteins, misfunctional proteins, and so on. However, there's a small amount of glyphosate that gets digested. Let's say glyphosate that was already in the plants or food that you're eating. Some of it gets digested through our digestive enzymes. And in the process of digestion, it converts from glyphosate to AMPA. Why that part is important is because this AMPA, unlike glyphosate, gets incorporated into lipids. Instead of them being phospholipids, some of them, they become phosphono-lipids, and these provide the protective coating, layering around cells in our body and also around organelles inside the cells and also around the mitochondria inside the cells. Now, cell manufacturing happens mostly in the bone marrow. Anthony Samsel tested human flesh, human bones, all these, and he found very high concentration of glyphosate AMPA in certain areas: bone marrow, placenta, breast cancer cells. How did he end up testing placenta? That's not something you can easily find in a factory or somewhere. That's because a woman who gave birth to a child with birth defects preserved her placenta and sent it to Anthony Samsel for testing. That's how. And the third one, a woman with a breast cancer which was removed told her doctor to preserve some of the tissues and send it to Anthony Samsel for testing. That's how he tested them, and he found very high amounts of glyphosate AMPA in all these 3 samples: bone marrows where cells are being manufactured, a placenta where a baby was born and the placenta had very high amount of this stuff, this pesticide and its metabolite, and that goes to show how the fetus is affected. And third, high concentration of it in the cells, in the cancerous cells of the breast of the human. For now, that's it. I will come back later. All these issues will be covered and more in short videos down the line. Thanks.